So welcome everyone to Managing Ukrainians. I think we are ready to start effective intercultural cooperation. So who we are leadership and culture. So I hope you know already we work with a lot of international corporations and different companies that already a lot of them involve themselves to help Ukraine. And today we would like to share with you our knowledge and our experience about how to work with Ukrainians effectively. So, managing Ukrainians in effective intercultural cooperation. A few words about myself. My name is Kateryna Chwiszczuk. I was born in Lviv, in Ukraine. I was raised in Algeria. I worked as well in France, and I'm living now in Poland for 13 years. I work as well about 10 years now in different intercultural international corporations, and I work with people, with customers, and this is my passion. And lastly, you can read my interview in the magazine My Company together with Katarzyna Romanowicz, our another trainer. We had this interview in Polish, czyli o polsko-ukraińskich różnicach w firmach, so you can read in this interview if you would like to learn more, and here you have a link as well in the chat. So what will be today about Ukrainians? Who are they? About some facts, some trends, some general information. We will talk about the approach to hierarchy, approach to time in Ukraine, and what are the differences between Polish approach and Ukrainian approach. About the communication style, we will share with you some tips and some basic information how to communicate effectively with Ukrainians and be understood. So, first question to you, I would like to ask you, have you ever visited Ukraine? So please let me know yes or no. Type in the chat, have you ever visited Ukraine? Yes, Henrik, Dorota, yes, Natalia, yes. Great. Ola, yes. Martin, no. Agnes, no. Okay, we have different no and yes. I think half yes, half no. Great. Thank you for your answers, Tomasz. No. Okay, so if you visit Ukraine, and I recommend you to visit Ukraine, and for those of you who already visited, I think you discovered that Ukrainians are generous, and most of social occasions include food. So we like to exchange food, to meet around the food. So this is a very popular occasion to have different conversation around the food. And often you were here when you come to, especially to home, maybe of parents of your colleagues, and when they invite you, you were here, oh, we are very sorry, we didn't prepare anything, we were not ready, you will come, we don't have anything, and then you will see this. So this is very popular, that when you expect a few guests, Mama will prepare a few snacks. So you will have a large different dishes to taste. So be ready for those occasions. Kasia, thank you for the smile. Yes, this is, I hope you have experienced this. So Ukrainians, who are they? Let's go to a few facts about Ukrainians. So I would like to start with some numbers. So general numbers. Good morning, Anya, welcome. Territory of Ukraine is about 603,000 kilometers square, population at 44 millions in 2020. And I must admit, when I was a teenager, I remember this advertisement in a TV saying, you are not alone, we are 52 million. So it was like 20 years ago. So imagine in 20 years, about 8 millions of Ukrainians moved from Ukraine, and now this number is growing because of the war. 24th of February, we have even more people leaving. So around 4 millions for now left Ukraine. Population and capital of Kyiv, we have 2.9 millions. A life expectancy is about 72 years. Unemployment rate 9.5% around. Urbanization rate we have around 70%. And religion, very different. And when talking about religion, we could organize a separate webinar because different, a complex, let's say, subject. Important date, in 2018, Ukrainian Orthodox Church from Kiev received a Tomos, so now it's a separate church and one of the biggest church in Ukraine. When it comes to another data and interesting data about Ukraine, Ukrainian is the only one official state language. About 75% of population is ethnic Ukrainian. Some economical here information to understand the situation, the economical situation of Ukraine. The minimum wage is around 600 zloty, comparing to Poland, where it's like 2,000. So really the difference is huge. And this is the reason as well why a lot of Ukrainians were leaving Ukraine before the war even started. An average salary in Ukraine, it's around 1,500 zloty. So this is like 30% of Polish average salary. Yes, so you can see here the difference. And again, we have here information about languages in Ukraine. So when it comes to language, this is an interesting subject because I received previously some questions. So yes, it was net, Anya, those information about salary. When it comes to languages, why you come from Ukraine but you speak Russian? So a language about this way I was hearing from different. So why people coming from Ukraine speak Russian? Yes. So here you have an answer. Ukrainian language was surviving through different suppressions for centuries, starting from 1627. Then you can see here on slide from in 18th centuries, 19th, 20th century. So this was like basically destroying everything that is Ukrainian. Removing literacy, let's say writers Ukrainians, books Ukrainians, so canceling all the culture that is Ukrainian basically. And Ukrainian language is still alive, and of course most of parties using Ukrainian. But what is interesting fact, as you can see on this map, in red you have the Russian languages. There is most used Russian language. And when you compare this map to the military map, now where Russia have their troops and they have like the most control over territory, these are the territories mostly in red. So the Russian languages is most popular. So we can say that language is uniting, of course, people. And now we have as well this tendency that a lot of people, Ukrainians, speaking Russian from centuries because they will like supposed to do so to survive, to speak Russian, they are now changing it and they are starting to use Ukrainian to really show this difference and to show that we are not Russia, we are Ukraine. So language is very important for country to be united and to be one. Let's move to hierarchy. So how the hierarchy is perceived in Ukraine. We will base those information about dimensions, cultural dimensions, based on the culture map by Erin Meyer. So there are like eight dimensions, and we will go through 2 of them today. But for you, I will show you as well later some comparison between Poland and Ukraine. So first of them that I would like to show you is a leading scale. So on the one side, we have very egalitarian countries, and on the another side, we have hierarchical countries. Egalitarian, when the boss is the same, boss is more like facilitator among others, he's with us, there is no so much strict hierarchy. And on the other side, we have countries with a strong hierarchy. So there is this big distance between the boss and the team members. The boss is like a strong manager or strong director, knowing all the answers to our question. There is decision-making process from top till down. So how do you think, where would you place Ukraine in this scale? And I would like to invite you for Menti. You can use the code or the link you will receive in a moment. And I'm showing you, let's use the code, and when we see some statistics, how it looks like. So please start voting. And let's see, where do you place Ukraine? So around 8, 7, okay, 8 persons voted. Let's give you some time for others. 15 persons voted. So closer to hierarchical by all of you, okay, 7.5 at the moment. Okay, I give you 5 seconds more to vote. 7.4. Okay, thank you so much for your answers. So let's see, 7.4. So remember this number, and let's see how we place Ukrainian, where we place it. It's around 8. So 7, 8, 7, 5, 8. So you were right, exactly around 8. And Poland, as you can see, around 6, 7. So when it comes to leading, we are quite similar in this subject. So we have a strong hierarchy. The boss is really leading from the top, taking decision. He's controlling. Yes, so we have quite a top down. So when it comes specifically to Ukraine, some tips for you to know when leading Ukrainians. So Ukrainians really like to have this equal treatment for all employees. So to really feel that there is no discrimination, this feeling of no discrimination is very important for Ukrainians. Most likely, the responsibility for taking the most important decision will be leaded on the leader. So leader, manager will need to take those responsible decision, and that would be expected by the team. They prefer a high level of supervision and direction, so clear direction, clear supervision, and clear information, what needs to be done, how it should be done. So with clear instructions as well, to know, to be sure what is expected from me. Yes, so they as well expect leaders to make this decisive decisions, but team members will be supporting each other, and we will talk why, because there is this a feeling of community. Yes, we have those countries who are more individualistic and countries who are more collectivistic. So Ukraine is more collectivistic country when this feeling of reaching goals not only for me, and making plans and decision and responsibilities not only for myself, but for my family, for my community, for my country. And we can see this especially now. So we are whole, like one team. However, when we talk about youngers, because there is a lot of IT companies in Ukraine as well, international corporations, and they are entering their, let's say, way of behaving, way of managing things. So now among young workers, we can see that there is this a new way, and a very great example is Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, who is showing that he's like, I'm one of you. We are all the same. We are all fighting for this democracy, for independence. We are all the same in this. So he is a great example of changing the way, not building, walls between us, but like giving a new generation a new way of treating and being close to each other, be stronger in new challenges that Ukraine is handling today. So what else nice to know about Ukrainians and hierarchy status, that Ukrainians pay close attention, as we already know, about 8 point, yes, for Ukraine when it comes to hierarchy, and the boss should know the answers, and to all employee question, because he is strong, he is leading, so he is deciding here, yes. If the supervisor cannot attend the meeting mostly and could be cancelled even, yes, because main decisions are made by the boss, by the leader. And in the business, it is important to be aware of your colleagues' position and rank so that you treat them appropriately. So you know who is there, and you will treat them with appropriate respect. And what else is interesting? Ukraine referring to superiors by first name and patronymic. So of course it's changing. As I said, for example, in IT company, we use per names. Maybe we are not use it, but in previous generation, for example, my father's generation, it was clear that we are using this patronymic. So, for example, I am Kateryna Vasilyevna because my father is Vasil, so I add Ivna or Ovech to the father's name, and we have it. Interesting fact, in Poland, for example, it's very popular to have a second name, yes. We don't have, it is not so popular in Ukraine to have a second name. I don't have a second name, for example, but we have all this name from the father, like a patronymic name, and we use it everywhere to filling different pages with our information, as you use it to put everywhere your second name. So the same, we are using our patronymic. And I would like to ask you now, imagine you are from Ukraine and you have your patronymic name. So what it will be? So please write in chat, take your father's name, and if you are a female, add Ivna to your father's name, the whole name, not the short one, but the whole name, long version. And if you are male, Ovich. Henryk Adamovich, great. We have Henryk, very nice. Tomasz Digowicz, nice. Janivna, Janivna. Yes, if it's Jan, Janivna. If it's Janusz, Januszivna it will be. Otto Bonowicz, Mistrashivna, Maciejivna, great. Dariushivna, Adam, oh yes, it's turning too fast. Try to read all of them. Gerardivna, yeah, Gerardivna, nice. Boratevivna, Tarnowska Ivna, Stanisławowna, yes, exactly. Rogerivna, Arturivna, Arturivna, it's the same when it comes to. So Tomashivna we have. I think the name of the father is always visible on some documentation, yes, so there is the documentation visible there. And now how it will be, when the child is born, there is always mentioned a name of the father, so there is always this name put it there. Tomashina we have from Agnieszka, Dariushivna from Claudia. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the approach to time in Ukraine. So let's discover how about time. So when it comes to time, we have, again, we will take Erin Mayer, the culture map. We have this linear time and flexible time. So we have on the one scale cultures that are very strict when it comes to time. Time is money. Punctuality is very important. Deadlines, agreed deadlines. When we have a meeting, we don't reschedule it. We just, treat it very strictly. And we do one task at a time. And on the other hand, we have this flexible time. So important to maybe change some time depending on the importance of the task. What we treat as with the highest importance, those are our relationships. So we take care of the relationship firstly. We do multitasking, so it's not like something negative. We just need to manage few things at a time. Changing task priorities, it depending what is the priority today. So when you think about those type of cultures, linear and flexible, again, question to you, where would you place Ukraine? Is it more linear time or more flexible? And let me come back to the slide and show you. So you can take the link what you have in chat and then vote. Yes, great. I see you started to vote. Let me show it to you. So again, in chat you have the code or the direct link to see it. And let's see what are the results. 3 and 6, more linear time. Okay, 28%, 29 vote 3 and 6, more linear time. Okay, so it's growing toward flexible 3.8. 5 seconds more for you to vote. 3.8 we have at the moment. Okay, 3.8. Let's check what is the answer by Erin Meyer, where Ukraine were placed by the different analysis that were done. So as you can see, the approach to approach in Ukraine is more flexible by Erin Meyer. It's around 6-7, and Poland it's around 4-5. So you placed Ukraine even before Poland, like more leader than Poland. Yes, so interested. But as you can see, you are doing it so based on your experience, and we have different experience because of course, we don't treat the scale as, black and white. So if Ukraine here is 6-7, so we treat it only like this. Yes, Anya, surprising, really surprising. We treat it more like, let's say, a road mapping tool. But what can be inside, and every Ukrainian is different. Inside country, there are a lot of difference. So this is, not just you take that Ukraine is 6-7 and we treat it only like this. It could be different, yes. So we need to take it individually, and as well you can work with different Ukrainians, you can work with different Polish, different Chinese, different Indians, etc., and everyone will be different. But overall, here you have, let's say, some overall statistics. So when working with those linear cultures and flexible cultures, how to make sure to be understood between different approaches to time. So remember, we are not saying that one approach is good, another one is bad, not at all. Just there is a different way of approaching things. So how to avoid this misunderstanding? First of all, to reinforce the importance of agreed deadlines, explain why it is important to have it and this or this deadline, why it will affect other way, why will be maybe wrongly, or how it would affect the whole project, the organization. Yes, so this is how it is done. Anya is writing, this is great to take an individual test. Yes, exactly. I took an individual test myself, and I was a Polish culture. For my result resulted in a Polish culture, and I think this is very interesting because I'm living for 13 years in Poland, and I think I tried it to accommodate, and I change it somehow. So because we are born in one country, in one culture, but when we move to another culture, we are starting to take those way of behaving and change ourselves. So this, yes, we're adapting to new ways. Yes, thank you, Anya. So this is true. So again, what else you can do to avoid this misunderstanding? Be very clear why you need it, when is it exact deadline. If you need it to be done in 1 hour, just say it, that this is important for you to have it in 1 hour. And Ukrainians feel more comfortable when they know exactly what to do and what is expected from them. So if you are not sure, if you understood each other, it's better to ask questions. To clarify, and to be sure that you really understood each other, yes, and you really know what is needed to be done, and you will be sure that another part understands you. I would like here to thank you for all the questions that you put before this webinar started. So we really received a lot of questions. So thank you for them. And one of this question was, what is the biggest difference between managing Ukrainians and managing Polish? So here overall, I would like to share a few points. So first one, approach to time, you already saw on the previous scale. And what can be interesting for you is the way we build trust. So in Poland, I trust you because I know how you work. I know that you deliver on time. I know that you prepare reports with all the details. I know that I can trust you because you work really well. In Ukraine, I trust you because I know you. So first of all, we need to build relationship. It will help us to cooperate better. I trust you because we spent the time together. I know your family, I know your hobbies. I know your more from the private perspective. So this building relationship is very important in order to have better communication at work as well. So think about this point, that building relationship. Yes, we see human at first. And another thing, it's low context and high context communication. We will talk about communication in a moment. Maciej is writing similar like comparison Germany, Poland. Yeah, exactly. So Germany will be even more trust, yes, basis, and then comparing to Poland, Poland will be more focused on relationship. Yes, so this is we see countries comparing to each other exactly. So low context. When I'm talking to you and I say something, I really mean it. So this is what I mean, and there is not so much behind it. Yes, and high context. When I talk to you, I pay much attention on your mood, on your body language, on how the words are said, and I'm reading like between the lines. So this, let's say in Ukraine, there are more to read between the lines. Here you can see the whole map based on Erin Meyer, as we said, cultural dimensions, and you can see Poland and Ukraine separately, how it's differentiating. So what we can say that communicating in this scale, we are like more on different sides. Then trusting, as we discussed, task-based and relationship-based and scheduling. So the rest, we are, let's say, overall on the same page. So as you can see, Ukrainian and Polish cultures are quietly very similar, but there are some nuances that we need to know about and remember. And let's move on to communication style. So how to communicate effectively, how to be understood when it comes to employees from Ukraine, what they expect when communicated. So emotional way of speaking, really showing that you are honest. This is why emotional way, because when you show emotions, you are just honest. You really say what you mean. Body language play a big role, and this why when you have some important conversation and something that you would like to say, it's important to do it face to face, not by email, not writing something, but really look into your eyes and watch some emotions, some body language, very important to really be present. Respect the independence of Ukraine. I think nowadays it's even more important than before, really respecting that Ukraine is an independent country and Ukrainians are not Russians, that we have a separate history, separate language, separate culture, that we are not the same. And nowadays you can see it even more. What can you offer us? So always when communicated, when Ukrainians remember what that there can be for them. Yes. So what are the benefits about some projects, some goals, working together? So it will be more saying to them that you have right, yes, that you have some values to offer. This can be something that will make your communication more stronger and more effective on both sides. Being honest, so again, being honest, being emotional the same way. And a humor, very interesting point as well, little humor. Ukrainians like some anecdotes, some funny examples, and this is always present in a conversation. And I will show you later on some examples. And especially today, there is a lot of short videos coming, songs, memes, and this is that very helps Ukrainian to stay strong and to believe that there is a hope. What else you don't need to know about Ukrainians when working effectively and communicated Ukrainianly? Alicia, Ukrainians will win the war with their memes. Yes, exactly. Yes, nice examples you can find everywhere. Ukrainians work very well in teams. So often, as we discussed, there is this relationship-based way of building trust. And very often there is this family atmosphere among them. Yes, so they really are spending time together after work, and this is important to integrate together and to spend, I'm not talking only about Ukrainians, but of course integrate all the team with Ukrainians together. It will help to really build this trust and make a team stronger. Ukrainians have a high degree of respect for older. So this is high respect for experienced employees, for authorities. So not only in the company, yes, we can see it, high respect like on different levels, high respect for parents, high respect for teachers, for professors. There is like this, again, depending because of this hierarchy level, yes, it's reflected in different areas of life. So that's why this high degree of respect. Ukrainians like to feel they are part of something bigger, and this is important when you would like to meet your team and explain what is the goal of the team, of your department, of your company. Like show this biggest goal. It will be very, very motivating for the whole team. Yes, showing this bigger something that is bigger goal, and everybody will start to work even more to reach it. Yes, this big picture. Anya, Ukrainian people are very communicative and very opening with people. Thank you, Anya, for sharing your experience. Asking deep questions to make sure you've been well understood. So really, again, asking questions, make sure that you know what to expect from other part and how it will be, to make this communication more effectively. Ask questions. And better call than email. So have this one-to-one conversation and not just by email when we have something important to say. One of the questions that you as well asked during before the webinar, and when we asked you to put some kind of questions in order to prepare this webinar for you, was about the war. So how to support Ukrainians during the war, how to handle it, how to handle those challenges. What I recommend you, it's for sure to create a time and space for those conversations and not to be afraid to talk about war. For sure, it will be hard conversation, so be ready for it. And I can share with you my own example. When the war started, I was involved a lot in volunteering, in helping, in translating, being a translator in different events. And one of the events, we were preparing presents. We are preparing a day for 8th of March for Ukrainian women. And during this event, we had 10 minutes, let's say, mindfulness session. So we will all standing in a circle, we were handing hands, and our task was to share or to send each other empathy and love when we were holding our hands and making those circles. And this, we had as well very calming, relaxing music. And through this 10 minutes, I was crying. So I couldn't stop myself. I was crying. For me, it was the time to put all those emotions that are very hard to control. But after this, I felt like I cleared myself. It was like a cleaning session for me, and I was very thankful for that. Why I'm giving you this example? To show you that those emotions will be hard, and you will need to manage sometimes very hard conversation. And that's why, Anya, relief. Thank you so much. Exactly what I felt at that moment. What I advise you is to have some psychological support. So the person who maybe will, from the outside, some experts, some psychologists that will come and prepare this kind of mindfulness session for everybody, of course, not only for Ukrainians, but have this time of support, of professional support to handle those emotions, because they're very, very hard. And use the right words, because not special operation but war. It is really war, what is happening. Leading with empathy and curiosity. And here we would like to recommend you, one of our as well previous webinar was about empathic leadership in a time of crisis. You have some summary here on those on the slide, and this is what is needed today. So this empathic leadership, very supportive one. What else you can do? Offer some flexible hours or volunteering hours. Yes, if anybody would like to help. So offer this flexibility today, what people can do more. How else you can help? There is an article, and here you have the link as well in the chat to the webinar, Empathetic Leadership in a Time of Crisis. And as well, you will have now a link to those, how you can help, what you can do, some benchmarks for individuals and business if you would like to share. So this is described. If you would like to share it, of course, you are very invited. A comment from Henrik. There are a few great webinars, how to talk about war and how to help victims, available on Spotify, on YouTube. Great, Henrik. Thank you so much for sharing. For sure, it will be very helpful. Yes, so having a support from different experts and to listen how you can help really victims and in those challenging situations. We have as well a podcast in Polish, but be ready. We are working as well on English versions about empathy, how to be a strong leader in Polish as well, how to enroll, employ Ukrainians, how to make an onboarding plan and process. Here are the things that you can listen to on podcast, and you can have our podcast O Krok do Przodu, so you can find there in Polish and in English as well some recordings. What is helping Ukrainians to stay strong in this situation and this challenging during the war? It's their sense of humor, of course. And as already you saw some memes, there's a lot of videos coming, a lot of songs, and I really, when I have some hard times, really like to listen to them. It makes me feel better. And there are some Ukrainian new words that appeared. За 3 dni, it means in 3 days, so making some unrealistic plans and sincerely believe in their success. Or Arestovlenia, it's from the name of Oleksiy Arestovich. He's a presidential advisor, and he's recording every 2 days some messages saying what is happening in Ukraine, what is the situation. And the way he is saying it is he has a very calm voice, a very confident voice. And it's amazing how, being under such stress, he's able to just calmly send this message and talk about those things. So this is Arestovlenia. And Zavesti tractor, it's like to start a tractor, meaning the most unexpected argument in any dialogue. So something unexpected. Zavesti tractor. What we can recommend you as well, we have 50% for the code April that you can find on our different webinars that you can buy. You have it in English and in Polish, as you can see. Effective communication in a hybrid workplace, empathetic leadership in a time of crisis, and włączanie obcokrajowców do polskiego zespołu. So here are the webinars that you can have with a discount code April for 50%. So we are coming to the end of our today's session. What will be the next webinar? It will be in English, authentic leadership, how to build trust in difficult times. So save the date. Yes, the code is for all webinars in the shop. So April code for all webinars, not only those I showed you previously. Authentic leadership. So save the date. It will be 20th of April. Again, the time is not changing. It's 11:45. So you will, of course, receive as well the link, or the link you can have here at the chat to register. And of course, you can have it from there. What else? We have a different session managing. Thank you, Kasia, very much for the comment. Useful session, interesting. Thank you so much, Kasia. Managing hybrid teams, first time online leader, other session that you will find, different nations, one team. We have cross-cultural program, a strong and resilient leader, mental toughness. So all this program you can find at ettagoglobal.com. You have those page here in the comment link. And please let me know, what is your key takeaway from this webinar today? What is information that you thought today about is interesting for you, or maybe something that surprised you and you didn't hear about it before? So please let me know in chat, what is your key takeaway from this webinar? I see your writing. Thank you so much for your humor, Anna Leszczyńska. Yeah, this is what helps us to survive in those times. Yeah, humor, a good way to stay strong. Okay, sorry, I have a lot of text. I need to see it. So thank you so much for your comments. What else we have here? A lot of value input, Arek, especially the comparison between nations were helpful. Thank you so much, Arek, yeah, for your feedback. Kasia, how to build a communication, relationship-based. Great. Thank you, Kasia. Gianluca, I'm surprised that Ukrainians can be so open, because in my experience, I often felt the opposite. Now I know more about Ukrainian people. Great. Thank you, Gianluca, as well, for sharing your experience. Building relationship, just go take them to the coffee, yeah, let's talk with them and build those relationships. Yeah, exactly. Rafał, invest more in relations. Yeah, building relationship, Cloud. Yeah, exactly. Talking to each other, get to know each other. I think this is especially what we need after COVID. Yes, that we were so much closed. Now there is time for this relief to coming back to building relationship, talking with each other. There is so much helping all of us. Thanks for the cultural comparison from Joanna. Great, thank you as well. Anya are writing. Two Anyas are writing something. What about work-life balance? Anya. What about work-life balance in Ukraine? In Ukraine, there is another joke saying now that there is a war-life balance. Yes, though this is not at all a joke, but you can see that Ukrainians have the war, and on the other hand, they need to continue to live somehow. They continue to work, and the president as well said that we need to move those economic, and he's inviting everyone to work to still have this balance and to move somehow. A lot of my friends are started to coming to Ukraine actually today. They're coming to Lviv. Lviv is more, let's say, safer place, and they're coming back in order to help, in order to continue business, in order to live somehow, because we can see that this war will not end soon, and we need to just continue our lives. It's challenging, it's hard, but we need to continue to work with the hope that everything will be good. Thank you so much. Дякую, Agnieszka, in Ukrainian. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very nice. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We are very happy to have you. If you have any questions you would like to ask about something, you have here our contacts, our number. Thank you so much. I wish you a great start of the week, great months, great April. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye.